Google didn't lose billions because it was late to AI, it lost billions because it panicked. For years, Google was the undisputed king of artificial intelligence. Its research labs were producing groundbreaking work, and its engineers were some of the best in the world. They were sitting on a mountain of technology, waiting for the right moment. But then, in late 2022, something shifted. A small startup called OpenAI released ChatGPT and the world went wild. Suddenly, the future of search, Google's golden goose, seemed uncertain. And inside the walls of Google, a feeling began to spread, not of excitement, but of fear. The launch of ChatGPT was more than just a new product release. It was a psychological shockwave. For the first time in over a decade, Google's dominance in search was being questioned, not by a competitor, but by an entirely new kind of technology. The media narrative quickly became, is this the end of Google search? Investors started to worry. Was Google being left behind? The pressure mounted, and the company felt it had to do something, anything, to show the world it was still in the game. That's when the mistakes began. In a hastily prepared event, Google unveiled its own AI chatbot, Bard. The goal was to calm the markets and project confidence. Instead, it did the exact opposite. During the official demo, Bard gave a factually incorrect answer to a simple question. It was a small error, but the consequences were massive. For a company whose entire brand was built on accuracy and trust, it was a public relations disaster. In the days that followed, Google's stock value plummeted by over $100 billion. The market wasn't reacting to the technology itself, it was reacting to the perceived panic. It saw a giant stumbling. This wasn't just a business problem, it was a psychological one. The decisions were driven by fear, not strategy. Fear of being seen as slow, fear of losing market share, fear of becoming irrelevant. This fear led them to rush, to cut corners, and to ignore the very principles that had made them successful. Internally, there were warnings. Google's own AI researchers had long cautioned about the dangers of rushing these powerful technologies to market. They understood the risks of misinformation and the fragility of public trust. But in the race to combat the hype, their cautionary voices were drowned out by the urgency of the leadership. The company found itself trapped in a cycle of hype versus reality. The flashy demos were designed to impress, but they overpromised and underdelivered, further eroding trust. Meanwhile, the competition, Microsoft and OpenAI, kept up the pressure. They had set the narrative, forcing Google into a reactive position, always one step behind, always trying to catch up to a story that was no longer its own. The hidden cost of this panic was the potential damage to its core business. In the rush to launch a new AI product, Google risked destabilizing the search advertising engine that generates nearly all of its revenue. It was a high-stakes gamble born not of confidence, but of desperation. So, what is the lesson here? It's that even the most powerful companies in the world are not immune to human emotion. Google didn't lose billions because of a superior technology from a competitor. It lost billions because it let fear dictate its strategy. It chased the hype instead of trusting its own long-term vision. The story of Google's $100 billion misstep isn't really a story about artificial intelligence. It's a timeless story about how panic, pressure, and the fear of being left behind can make even giants fall. It's a cautionary tale that will undoubtedly repeat itself in the next great hype cycle, whatever that may be. Thanks for watching.